What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to talk to you about the top 5 short squeeze stocks that you need to add to your watch list going into this upcoming week. So I'm going to go over all the things that you need to know, but first make sure to hit that thumbs up, and with that, let's get right to it. So starting off, going into this upcoming week, the expectations are very low. So the market's anticipating a further pullback, but that is a very unique circumstance for where the market could really surprise and kind of move higher as a byproduct of that. So we have tariffs potentially on the 2nd and the 3rd, but even what was stated on Friday, that could be negotiated and potentially taken off. And if so, the market will move up higher accordingly. So like I said, I think this week, a lot of people think it's down and out, but that might be the best time to potentially really add a lot of these stocks to your watch list. And even aside from that, as I've stated in the past, I don't just choose the most heavily shorted stocks and kind of throw them up there. There's a good combination of heavily shorted stocks. You also have stocks that have a lot of pre-existing good momentum despite the volatility that's been happening in the broader market, high DTC, and many other things. So I'm going to get right to it. Starting off with stock number 5, you do have ticker LXEO, so LXEO Therapeutics. Over the last 1 year, not doing all that great, down 73.85%, but over the last 1 month, it is up 39.93%. So it is building some pretty good momentum despite a lot of the volatility. Based on this is what they do. So feel free to pause it, go through it. It is a biotech based out of good old New York, but we are here because of this. Like I said, not all of these stocks are the most heavily shorted or whatever, because only 10.47% of the free float is being shorted. That works out to be 2.28 million shares. Cost to borrow average is 0.54, so kind of low on that. But short score is 77.43. So the higher the number, the higher the likelihood of a squeeze happening. And based on the recent kind of price action that has happened, which was fairly positive, you've seen shorts not really do all that much. So it's been lingering between that 10 and 12% range for the last month and a half. Aside from that though, there is roughly around 2.3 million shares available to be shorted. And the reason why I bring that up is in cases when there's limited supply, not obviously with this stock, but you could see some corresponding buying coming from big money. So BlackRock, Vanguard, a lot of the other big names love to buy stocks just to lend out. So again, that could add some additional buying pressure, probably not in this case, but some other stocks I'll be going over. So with that said, I'm not also going over a lot of these data points, but a lot of it is very beneficial. So like I said, a higher DTC is very advantageous. So this is stock number 5 that you need to add to your watch list. Moving on to stock number 4, you have ticker ALUR. So over the last 1 year, down 92.69%. So not all that great. Over the last 1 month, it is up 1.87%, but over the last 5 days, starting to get pulled back a little bit. So you did have some pre-existing good momentum there, a lot of big volume on a side note. So this is definitely something to kind of add to your watch list. So industry is specialized consumer services. This is the company profile, 503 employees based out of the US, but we're here because of this. So 10.78% of the free float is being shorted, works out to be 623,000 shares. Kind of what the market does like to squeeze, so somewhat low float stocks. It is on the threshold list, and it has been on the threshold list. It looks as though just maybe 1 day. So again, nothing really crazy. If a stock is on the threshold list for 13 consecutive trading days, this is where the SEC should be going after the market makers to kind of rectify it, but you won't be seeing that much happen for at least another 2 weeks. But as you can kind of see, shorts have been very reactive to the price and the momentum. So with some good momentum across the board on a larger scale across on the actual data points, then you could see this really push higher. Short score is 78.61, and then through IBKR does indicate roughly around 2,000 shares is available to be shorted. So again, you could see some corresponding buying because of this, because of the cost to borrow. So cost to borrow average is 318%, very high. And so obviously big money will love to buy it just to lend out. So this one will be a favorite for them. Side note, I know I bring this up every week, but keep in mind the cost to borrow is a annual rate, not a daily rate. So this is stock number 4. Moving on to stock number 3, ticker is SURG, sitting at $1.79 over last 1 year, down 53.51%. Then over the last 1 month, it is up 42.06. This is what they do. So company profile, wireless telecommunication services, 130 employees based out of the US. And we're here because of this again. So short score is 78.98. So it is kind of moving up there. And cost to borrow average is 80.15. 8.17% of the free float is being shorted. So like I said, not always the most heavily shorted stocks are on this list. Works out to be 1.12 million shares. And then through IBKR, you do see roughly around 80,000 shares available. So once again, you could see some buying as a byproduct of that. Moving on to stock number 2. This one has been fairly popular, and I've brought this up time and time again on my pre-market video because it's been a favorite for a lot of momentum traders, for a lot of big institutions. So it has been getting a lot of attention. So that's kind of a good thing. Sitting at $2.47 over the last 1 year, though, it is down 67.5%. Over the last 1 month, up 77.7%. This is what they do. Healthcare equipment, founded in 2012. Los Gatos, California, based out of the States. And 18.27% of the free floats being shorted, though, works out to be 569,000 shares. Exactly what the market likes to squeeze. Somewhat heavily shorted and a low float. So this meets that criteria. Cost to borrow average is 453.7%. So fairly high stuff. Short score is 80.08. And then through IBKR does indicate 100,000 shares is available. So you might see some buying potentially throughout the week. So let me know your thoughts on that one. And then getting right to stock number 1, you do have ticker DATS sitting at $3.45 over the last 1 year, up 139.58%. And then over the last 1 month, up 53%. So this one's been getting a lot of volume. Of course, way back in March the 25th, it had a nice run to looks as though $9.34. So crazy stuff for that. This is what they do. So again, pause it if that floats your boat, but it is based out of the US similarly to all the other ones. But 16.84% of the free float is being shorted. Works out to be 662,000 shares. So once again, heavily shorted, low float, meets that criteria that the market likes. Cost to borrow average is 324.4%. And then short score is 80.66. And then through IBKR does indicate 65,000 shares is available to be shorted. So I think in general, a lot of these stocks needs to be added to your watch list, because you never know. You could see a very nice run, and if we have some good data points coming out this week, such as, let's say, the tariffs get dropped or reduced, we have job openings on Tuesday, a couple Fed speakers, one being Powell on Friday, unemployment, non-farm payroll, so a lot of good opportunities for the market to really move higher. And a lot of the stocks I did bring up are very much momentum stocks, so you could see that nice push higher. So definitely let me know your thoughts. Do you own any of them currently? Is there any other squeeze stocks that you feel are going to have its time in the sun this upcoming week? And if so, drop some tickers in the description below. One final thing, pop over to my Patreon where I give buy signals on stocks, options, and crypto. Many of them have been absolutely on point and bangers. Definitely worthwhile to pop over there and take a look. With all that, appreciate all of you watching.